Kev, pre-season's now in full flow. How are the players looking so far?
Players are in a really good position so far. At the minute, we returned to training sort of almost just over two and a half weeks ago. I have to say the players have done really well in the off season. It's been a long break this year compared to the previous 2 seasons that the players had. They had a lot more time than previous. Last year we only had 3 weeks. This year they had almost 8. So they have done a lot of their pre-season programme that we have sent them. We monitored that quite a lot throughout the season. Staff, medical and coaching staff were available throughout the summer for all the players to come in and work on the grass and work in the gym and in the new facilities that we have. I think that was really important because it let us keep an eye on the players throughout this summer and look at their fitness in general. It was a very sort of busy period in the last couple of weeks. We had 8-9 players coming in on a daily basis to see us. We had a couple of players that had a few little knocks and injuries that they carried from last season that we rectified during the summer with treatment and rehab. So we've come back in a good place with the full squad participating in testing on the first day of pre-season, and all the players have trained so far to date. We've modified a couple of players based on the fact that last year some players have played a lot more minutes than others. Some players were injured towards the end of the season, like Tony, Aaron Hayden coming back fit. So all them players were looked at individually and their off-season programmes adjusted accordingly to make sure that when everyone came back on the first day of pre-season for testing, that everybody was suitably fit to do that. And likewise, when we got on the grass on the first week, that everyone could participate as much as possible.
You mentioned those new facilities there. This time last year when we sat down and spoke, they were still under construction. How important was it for the end of last season to have them in place, and how important are they for the club's development?
Yeah, I think the facilities are great now that we have at our disposal at the club. We have the new docks room, we have the new treatment room, we have the new medical office, and we got the new gym. So they all played a big role in the development of the squad throughout the season. They opened at the back end of January last year and have been fully utilised by the players for lower body, pre-ac and rehab. I think, and I would like to feel that everybody in the club and the supporters will have seen sort of the benefits of the gym, especially towards the back end of the season when we had a lot of sort of Saturday fixtures that the players were able to perform to maximum capacity. They had the right recovery, they had the right gym to do their programmes in. I think that helped us a lot in the games as it came thick and fast. We were very competitive, we were very fresh, we were very fit. But the important thing moving forward is that we have this equipment from the start of the season, thanks to the owners and the board, so that the players can make the use of it, because it's all well and good looking sitting here now that we're a League 2 team. We done what we needed to do last year in terms of the performances were great, the players worked really hard. But the emphasis on moving forward this year is that we are making a step up. We will be playing better teams, we will be against better players, so that means that our player availability needs to be better, our players need to be fitter, our players need to be stronger, because they are going to be competing at a higher level, and we want to make sure that we're not just a team taking part in that league. We want to be a team competing at the top end of that league, and the gym and the facilities that we have here at the racecourse now is something that will aid us to make sure that the players from a physical point of view are able to compete and perform against good teams.
Earlier in your first answer you spoke about the difference in break between the end of the season before last, only having 3 weeks off between the end of the season and pre-season beginning. This year was a lot different, so from your perspective, how do you manage that and how do you tackle the approach to their schedules?
Yeah, it's definitely been a different off season for sure. The players have put real hard work and emphasis on their training and commitment to the team over the last 2 seasons. Unfortunately last year we fell short in the Grimsby game in the playoff, which meant we only had 3 weeks off, so there wasn't too much to do in that period apart from the players rest and recover. Whereas this year obviously we ended the season really successful in gaining promotion to the National League. I think it was fair to give the players sort of a period, especially the week after the season when we played our last game of the season, that they had time to sort of enjoy the moment really, to say the least, and sort of enjoy it with the fans, enjoy it with their families, and make memories from what we achieved in a really good season. After that we give the players a couple 2 weeks further off where it was just shut down time for them really. A lot of them went away on holidays with their family, went away somewhere nice and warm and sunny, which they fully deserved. And then after that we sort of led into a 5-week ramp up program with the players. Again, earlier I mentioned how some players that had played a lot of games, or some players that didn't play many, some players were returning from injury. So each individual player was looked at from an individual point of view, from an S&C point of view, from a physio point of view, from a physicality point of view, for what they needed to put them in that position for the first day. And I need to give credit to the medical team and the S&C team that worked continuously through the summer. It's quite hard for them because they're in the summer, there's not many players around, but it's really important that for the 5-6 players that were coming in each week, that we had the staff there, we had the facilities, we had the personnel and the medical staff and S&C staff there to really allow the players to benefit from that. That was optional for the players, and the majority of them took that option to come into us and work with us on the grass and work with us in the gym. They're aware that there's going to be a step up next season, so it was really nice to see that we've already got that buy-in from the players, that they're willing to put that work and effort in, because they do know it's going to be a challenge, and we want to be as physically prepared for that challenge as we can.
We've seen photos of the players getting their pre-season testing in. How important are those tests, and what do you look for within them?
Yeah, so our first 2 days of pre-season was physical testing, and the first day of that being gym-based testing, where we have a number of tests carried out by, again, the S&C staff and the medical staff. And that's just looking to look at the baseline results, and we can use them results to compare against the results from the start of last pre-season and the end of last season when the players were tested. That gives us a good indication of where the player is in terms of their fitness from last season coming into now, after having a sort of a 8-9 week period off. So that was really, really good to look at that. And as we discussed earlier on, the players have all come back in really good shape. Most of them are at least at the baseline. A lot of them have improved over the summer with the physical work and effort that they've put in, which is really good news, and the manager is delighted with that. And then we've done a lot of grass-based testing on the second day, again looking at sort of their baseline scores and seeing where they are. And again, the results compared to last year, this year on year have improved. So again, it's shown that the work behind the scenes that the players are putting in the gym, on the training pitch, with the manager and the coaching staff is really, really paying off. And we have that, as I said, I always refer to us as that buy-in, but it does feel like that every single player has brought into what the management team and what the owners of the club are doing and what the board are doing, and they're all on board with that. The other sort of side of it is sort of the cardiac and blood test that we do. And again, that's just for ourselves from a medical point of view, that we know that our players are fully healthy. We can look at the blood results and check, is there anywhere where the players are lacking? Is there anywhere that we can add performance in that? For example, if they're lacking some vitamin D, vitamin C, can we improve upon that to give them that extra little bit in the season? Can we reduce the possibility of any soft tissue injuries, any bony injuries by helping them with that? And again, it's been great to be able to do that, again, with the resources at the club, that we're allowed to do that, because what we're trying to do as a medical department is give us every little bit of advantage in the performance field that we can get, and all this that we're doing, which is being supported by the club, is helping us to do that.
In a couple of days' time, the club will fly to the USA to begin the pre-season tour. In no doubt, what's going to be a busy schedule. How will the work that you do differ to a normal pre-season, and how do you combat that?
Yeah, it's going to be a very busy period in the schedule. So we have looked at a lot of things in terms of preparation from that. I guess I'm lucky in a little bit that I've travelled internationally with the Republic of Ireland to a lot of countries, so we can adopt a lot of the strategies that we use for that. But for example, we've looked at in terms of how the players are flying there, and the time of the flight, so we'll try and make them so that the players can still get the quality sleep that they need. We've used our club nutritionist, who has prepared food packs for the players for each individual flight, in terms of hydration, what they should be eating, when they should be eating it. We've enlisted the help of a top sleep professional who has discussed with us when the players should sleep on planes, in terms of night flights, morning flights, how long they should sleep for, strategies around helping to sleep on a plane, strategies around helping them to sleep in a hotel. Talked about issues around air conditioning in hotels, noise in hotels, lights in hotels. So we've done everything in terms of sleep, nutrition and performance that we can do to really help the players. When we're out there, I've already touched base with a lot of the clubs that we're going due to contacts that we have out at the clubs, especially LA Galaxy, and then with Man United and Chelsea. looked at sort of strategies around heat stroke, hydration, food and recovery. So in terms of maximising performance, it's as much about maximising recovery as well. We are there, we've got a lot of training sessions, we've got a lot of 4 games in a quick succession, so it is about being able for the players to train and get some physical demanding sessions out of them, and tactical sessions from the manager's point of view. It's important that all the players are going to get minutes under the belt when we're out there, on top of the minutes that they've got in pre-season already. And then it's about the recovery when they're coming home, and also after every game, so that they're prepped and ready for travel and the next day.
You mentioned coming home there. The club and the players will arrive home in the week before the Milton Keynes Dons game here at the Stoke Kairas. What will your work look like to make sure that they're ready to go come August the 5th?
Yeah, so we play our last game on the Friday, I believe, and the squad and management staff and all the staff that are on the tour will travel back on the Saturday morning and arrive late on the Saturday evening via direct flight, which is something that we discussed with the individuals around sleep and travel. And first of all, it's great that the club can offer that facility where the players can fly directly back, so that will be a big help for preparing the players to be ready for our first game at MK Dons. So we'll arrive late back on the Saturday, and the players will have a couple of days off then, and we will hit the ground running, ready fall into as much of a normal sort of training week as we will in terms of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we will have plenty of lead into the game. The players will be given plenty of time to recover from jet lag. We'll be given again food nutritional information. They'll be getting information on sleep, getting information on recovery techniques, and as always we'll have staff available every single day for the players. So if the players do feel that on Monday they want to come in and we want to get them on the grass and get moving, then we can do that. Every single player will react differently, so when we say we have a strategy in place, we have a general strategy in place for the squad, but that has to be individualised based on each player's individual. For example, Mulls might wake up on Monday and say he needs to get his legs moving. Owen O'Connor might wake up and say, oh, I'm stiff. Another player might wake up and say, I'm extremely tired and drowsy. So we will take each individual as a person, and we will adjust their sort of recovery techniques as needed, so that when the squad do come together for training, that everybody is ready for training. That will be monitored through various apps that we have, in terms of we look at the wellness, the muscle fatigue, how many hours they slept, how they're feeling, body soreness, and taking into the family life situation at home after being away for 2 weeks. So it's important that I think everyone realises that it's a well-rounded approach, and it's not just what fits for one person going for everyone. Everyone is an individual, everyone reacts to it differently, but we will make sure that when we're back here everyone is fully recovered, and that comes Saturday 3 o'clock at MK Dons, with the support we have from the crowd and the energy that's going to be in the stadium for a return to the Football League, that the players will be fully prepared for, and they will give a performance hopefully that everybody in the club will be proud of and happy with at the end of the day.
Thanks, Kev, and we look forward to seeing the journey across the season once again.
Brilliant, thank you for your time.